Hello, my friends. Welcome back for another episode with the mysterious stoner and a bowler. This is a completely different episode from anything I have ever done before. Because the time has come, you see, for me to be completely honest. Before I continue on with the subject that I am going to get to, I would first like to state some of my personal beliefs and just a statement that I would like to share that is what I believe. Some of the things that I believe. I believe every adult human has the right to do whatever they want with their body and their health. I believe every human being has the right to freely speak their mind. And I believe that with enough free speech and time, almost any conflict can be resolved without violence. I do believe there is a time for wisely and controlled violence that should only be carried out by the most morally and upstanding citizens of each country. But also that said violence should always be the last option when all other options have been explored and exhausted. And while I believe in multiple alternate deities and entities, I have, in a way, come to once again believe in the one called Jesus. Not the Caucasian, Republican, or any Christian version of Jesus, but the original Yeshua, that not even the Bible can completely and accurately describe. The one that left home as a young boy and traveled to Tibet, India, and Persia, and eventually returned home to share the many wonderful peace-promoting lessons of the monks and spiritual teachers he had learned from on his journey. One of the greatest lessons he passed on being, the meek shall inherit the earth. The word meek meaning one who knows how to use a sword, but has the discipline and self-control to keep it sheathed and not abuse it. Unfortunately, abusers of the sword end up in power sometimes. Sometimes they abuse that power because they are genuinely internally damaged and corrupted beyond words and reason can do to help. And those individuals are the ones the meek save and sharpen their swords for. But most of the time, the abusers of the sword only do so because they have been greatly misinformed in one area or another. And with a straightforward and open-hearted conversation and presenting of the facts and evidence, they can and will eventually come around. If they care about their job and they care about the truth and using the sword of justice properly, and they're open-minded to being corrected and wrong, they will come around. And they deserve our love and respect. Not just when they realize and accept the truth, but even before that, as you are talking with them. Because everyone, deep down, wants to know the real truth. Consciously, a lot of people shy away and are terrified of it because, yes, many truths are scary. A lot of them, at first glance, are terrifying and take some time and work and understanding to be able to accept and realize why and how those truths are important to embrace. Because the real truth, the reason why we need to know what those scary truths are, is because the real truth is real knowledge. When we exercise or we act on that knowledge that we've gained, that real knowledge we've gained, we give ourselves real power. And when we use that power properly, according to the real knowledge that we've gained, when we use the power properly to heal instead of harm, to speak kindness instead of ridiculing, to edify instead of eradicate or cancel, as some people will say. When we use the power like that, we free ourselves from becoming our own worst nightmares. And we free ourselves from becoming a nightmare to others. To use the power of truth properly is to unite and build as many people up as possible in order to create a better world and better life for everyone. That is why I made this channel. That is why I want to build a charity with all the bells and whistles a religious trauma charity could use. And it's why I talk about the good and the bad in the Bible. And why I told my story and made a game out of it. Because I love every single human being. Every single one of you watching or not watching. Everyone that has lived or died. I love all of you. I see the potential of greatness in all of you. And that is what makes you worth loving and worth giving a second chance to, and worth giving yourself a second chance for. And if there is just one thing I want you to remember from having watched any of my videos, this is the most important thing that you will remember. That is, when you search for the whole truth, you might lose an eye. But if you stop searching, that means you have to keep doing it. If you stop continuously searching for the whole truth, you may as well be already blind. There are people right now in power in the country I live in, but the one getting a lot of the attention right now happens to be a lot of them living over in Canada. And the people of Canada have gotten tired of it. They've gotten tired of those in charge of them, of abusing their powers, of abusing the sword. They are tired of these mandates and these pressed on vaccinations, these identification cards that are required upon crossing the border to continue working. They are tired of having these mandates pushed on their children, and they are tired of people lying about the vaccines, about the origin of the virus itself, and they are tired of being lied to about all of it. They are tired of the people who keep on yelling those lies. And the truckers of the Canadian Freedom Convoy have asked for people from all around the world to participate this week in their protest for freedom, for the right to be able to choose for themselves, the right to be able to decide what they do with their bodies and what medicines they take, the right to decide for the health of their own children instead of the government. They have asked, the convoy has asked, for everyone who can around the world to take the week off from their day job. They didn't say to go out and protest. They didn't say to go out and do violence. In fact, they are completely against violence. They have no intention of showing violence. They have no interest in that. In fact, the only violence that has happened at the convoy, you can watch the videos online for yourself, of all the reports, the live reports that have come in, the only violence that has occurred at these freedom convoys in Canada has been on the part of those who are supposed to be protecting them, who are supposed to be enforcing their right to be there and to protest those mandates. It's part of their law that they are allowed to be out there, and their law enforcement, their leader, their country's leader, is ignoring them. Well, he's trying to ignore them. He's trying to make them go away by arresting them instead of sitting down and listening to them and giving them a fair chance. And this protest has spread across the world. Many other countries have dropped their vaccinations and their mandates and the wearing of masks and all that. And only a few, like Canada and the US and Australia, are continuing to try and push and act like the pandemic is still going on and that everyone is still at risk and that all the lies that we have discovered that are lies are, they are still trying to insist that they are truth. This is a huge, huge problem that cannot be ignored by those who can afford to not ignore it. I myself have no children, no dependents. I'm single, I'm young. And I know tyranny when I see it. And so I am going to join in with this protest. I've taken this week off of work, and I don't know anyone to do this with me. As far as I know, I'm going to be the only one out there where I live. I'll be in downtown Detroit. I'll be hard to miss. And I'll be peacefully protesting. But I feel like I cannot do that while having this game that I have created about myself continuing to exist. Because I value truth far more than I do my game, or I value the overall truth of everything than my personal agendas and my personal ambitions. When I realized what I wanted to do with my life, that I wanted to help people who'd been through the same dark type of past that I had been through, it's all I've been able to think about and want to put myself towards. Because it's a part of reality that tends to be ignored by most people, and is something that I believe really needs to be worked on, because there are a lot of victims out there of religious trauma syndrome. But the cause that is being supported by the convoy truckers of Canada, and as of today, or as of tomorrow, beginning another convoy down here in the US, their cause, what they are supporting, encompasses and overlaps my own ambitions. Because the mandates and all the things that are being pushed upon free people against their free will, they're being forced to not have the right to do whatever they want with their body. They are being barred from having control over their own health. They're being barred and imprisoned for speaking their mind. They're doing this to anyone who shows up. This is about everyone, not just a subcategory, not just one color of people, not just one political party. They're doing this to everyone. They do not care what your religion is or your race is. And this protest is in support of all free humanity, all peace, all unity, all for one, and one for all. So much, much bigger than the things that I want to create and that I want to build and want to draw attention to. And because this cause is so much bigger and so much more pressing and so much more important, I'm officially ending this game that I have created. I was using a lie for fun. I told everyone there was a lie because that was part of the game. You were supposed to figure out what it was because it would help you answer a couple of the questions that I had made. But I feel like I can't rightfully join in with this protest if I am being 100% myself and also trying to hide any parts of my past. Because quite honestly, no one has a name quite like mine. No one likes to dress quite like me. And this outfit is more than just for the show. It started out that way, but it's become a lot more to me than that. In fact, I've had the hat way longer before I ever even thought of this show. I just have the hat because I think they look awesome and they should come back into style. But that's just me. But I didn't want to be going out there being myself and being recognized here and, people saying, hey, isn't it that guy who, is making a game about himself and he's not being completely honest. I know that's the point of the game, but it's the fact that he's not being completely honest about who he is just makes him seem kind of suspicious, don't you think? I don't want people to have that conversation. It's just going to create a lot of extra talking, extra explaining. And I'm sure I could have done better with the game and such. I'm still learning how to do this. But in my experience, honesty is ultimately always the best policy. And I just, even for a game, something I'm trying to make big, something I'm trying to dedicate my life to, I can't put this aside, be my complete self, and go support this far bigger, far more important movement without complicating things if I try to keep up with this game any longer. So, what will be done with the money, the cash prize that I made? Well, we'll figure something out. I'm not going to keep it. I'm not going to give it to the to the convoys because this money was not earned by me to go for that. It was specifically earned for someone to win the game, to answer the questions that I had set for myself, or for them to answer. And they were going to win one, if they had won as of right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, $810. As I mentioned with the rules of the game that I've created, I will stick according to that, and we will find a charity to put this money towards. You can, if you would like to put your vote in the comments section below, you can say what you would like to send it towards. And I'll get it in check as soon as I can, but we'll give it some time to figure it out. If I'm able to come back, let me put it this way: if the law enforcement does anything illegal, and I am not able to return to take care of this money and see to it that it is sent somewhere where it will be guaranteed to be used to help someone who genuinely needs it. If I'm not able to see that through myself personally, I live close to a relative of mine I trust very deeply, who's been through much of the same stuff that I have. I will give it to them and entrust it in their care for where it needs to go. I know it will not be spent on them. They're a full-grown adult with their own problems, and they know about what I'm trying to do. They support what I do. And they'll find a home that is worthy of this money. If that's what ends up happening. as far as the questions go that I made, I will answer those now. First question was, what country was I born in? Well, it was right here in the United States of America. Guess what country I was a missionary in? I won't bring that one up yet. I'll give you a chance to guess once I show you the clue. What was the other question? Ah, yes, it was, what is my original accent? Well, if you heard my story, it should be hard to nail down, honestly. But surprisingly, it's not. This is my original accent right here. It might be a little tweaked with some Southern in there because I lived in the South for 14 years. So every now and then I do sound a little Southern. I throw a y'all in there every now and then. I'm told, or I've been told in the past that when I've gotten upset, I sound more redneck, more Southern. I do my best to not get angry. Very much I'm trying to stay on top of that. But the other question, where were my parents missionaries to? Can't recognize it? Hard to read? Probably. If your guess was Russia, that is correct. My parents were missionaries in Russia for 10 years of my youth. Good chunk of time. And my name? My full name, I have only told my first name on this channel, but my full legal name is Rogan Heathen Freewolf. Yeah, I wasn't born with that name. I chose it. Out of a few different reasons. It was after I left Christianity. It had to do with leaving my religion. It had nothing to do with my parents because I still value them. I still honor them. I don't consider myself a non-family member of my family. I still consider myself a full-fledged family member. I just really didn't like any of my old name. Really didn't. I never liked it. I can't tell you what it is though, because I've given you enough information. I'm not going to lie to you anymore, but I'm not going to tell you what my old name was, because that is personal business, and there is no need for you to know what the last name of my other family members are. I look forward to whatever's going to happen during this week and during the rest of my life, however long or short that may be. I'm going to do my best to take it all in stride. From this moment, I'll be taking a vow of silence regarding my ambitions in this channel. There will be one more video that I will try and get to post today before I go join the peaceful protest. And you can see those when those come. Those, I hope you will find them enjoyable and inspiring. But no matter what happens during this week, regardless of whether I make it back or not, there's a better show out there for you to watch anyways. If you follow the truth, if you seek to know the whole truth, your life will become one of the most exciting shows you could ever experience. You've no idea what kind of adventures, what depths of knowledge you will reach, and what heights of understanding and greatness you can achieve if you simply dedicate yourself to always looking for the whole truth. That is what guided me out of Christianity and into being an atheist. And it's what guided me out from being an atheist into exploring the supernatural and slowly becoming who I am now. A rogue shaman. What is a rogue shaman? It is simply a shaman who speaks to whatever deities are drawn to them or they are drawn to. They don't adhere to one culture or one set of traditions on how to do their shamanic practice. They study as many as they can. Or they study the ones that the universe brings to their attention or guides them to go seek out. And then they collect from those different cultures and different traditions what they find works the best for them personally. But the ultimate fundamental aspect of it all is still the same. Shamans are just meant to help and heal people. That is all I have ever wanted to do with my life, was to help other people. And that is what I intend to do for the rest of my life, as much as I can. So if you were looking forward to competing for this money, or you already were, I'm sorry. I was planning on going way longer than 2.5 years when I first came up with this idea to do all this. I was really looking forward to it expanding and getting really big. But I am serious about this bigger cause. Because it's much bigger than mine. And it deserves more attention than mine. And I hope you will take it seriously, as I am choosing to. I hope you accept this offering of honesty and sincerity. I look forward to whatever happens this coming week. Whether it's completely peaceful or I get used as a human punching bag and get some free room and board. And if you are a patriot of freedom and truth and of your country, I hope you will come out and join me this week. Whether you live up here in Detroit or some other part of the country or across the ocean or in Canada and haven't joined the protest yet, heck, if you're in China or if you're in Russia, I'm sure you guys would like some better leaders, wouldn't you? Grab your own flag. Start your own peaceful protest. Join in. Let's set the world free together. Until next time, my friends, farewell.
Lay. Sir. Yeah.
Kane is in the building.
Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up. What's up? Alright, already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through they teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats. Then get busy on they ass. See, that's how that Chi-Town made me. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me. If you are my homeboy, you never have to pay me. Go and put your hands up. When times is hard, you stand up. LUP the man, cause a brand that the fans trust. So even if they ban us, they'll never slow my plans up. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. Alright, already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. One in the air for the people ain't here. Two in the air for the father that's there. Three in the air for the kids in the ghetto. Four for the kids that don't wanna be there. None for the niggas trying to hold them back. Five in the air for the teacher not scared to tell those kids that's living in the ghetto that the niggas holding back that the world is theirs. Yeah, yeah, the world is yours. I was once that little boy, terrified of the world. Now I'm on a world tour. I will give up everything, even start a world war for these ghetto girls and boys. I'm rapping around the world for Africa to New York, Haiti then I detour, Oakland out to Auckland, Gaza Strip to Detroit. Say hip hop only destroy. Tell them look at me, boy. I hope your son don't have a gun and never be a D-boy. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. Alright, already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. So no matter what you've been through, no matter what you into, no matter what you see, when you look outside your window, brown grass or green grass, picket fence or barbed wire, never ever put them down. You just lift your arms higher, raise them till your arms tired. Let them know you there, that you struggling, surviving, that you gon' persevere.